Test. There we go. It worked. Welcome to the second concert of the American Wind Band's 36th season, our holiday concert. 1929 marked the first Christmas during the Great Depression, and the Rhinelander, Wisconsin Daily News asked children to write letters to Santa so that the Rhinelander Goodfellows Club could identify children who lived in homes without it. One child's letter summed up the hardships of the time, and it reads as follows. Dearest Santa Claus, I saw in the Daily News all children should write to Santa Claus if they wanted to see him visit Rhinelander. We sure do, Santa. Would love to have you come and see your great reindeers like we saw and read in papers and books. There are 5 in our family. I'm the oldest, so I'm ready for all. Mother said Santa Claus won't come this year as our father is very sick and can't work. But just the same, when you come and give presents and see the other children, come see us too. P.S. We live on Upland Avenue. This child from the past reminds us today that the commercialized hustle and bustle of Christmas time is not what it's all about. It's also about hope, love, and the human spirit that guides this country to persist during grim times. For example, 83 years ago yesterday, 2,400 Americans died at Pearl Harbor. So in their honor, in the honor of what Christmas should represent, if you are so inclined, please rise. Place your hand over your head if you wish. Salute if you are a veteran and join in singing as the American Wind Band performs the Star Spangled Banner. That time won't appear from back there. That was Leroy Anderson's thrilling holiday overture, written at the request of Boston Pops Orchestra director Arthur Fiedler in 1950. Anderson wrote many tunes familiar to us, but a Christmas festival still rings throughout the concert halls of high schools, community bands, and orchestras every year. Our next piece brings us to New York during the holiday season. A place of magic, where people skate beneath the great tree at Rockefeller Center, wait for the New Year's Day ball to drop in Times Square, and flock to the 41 theaters on the Great White Way, Broadway. Included in John Higgins' arrangement of Broadway tunes concerning Christmas is It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, Pine Cones and Holly Berries, Toyland, March of the Toys, My Favorite Things, We Need a Little Christmas, and the uplifting God Bless Us Everyone. Now we're going to give you a test during this piece. I've already told you the tunes. Now you have to guess the actual show titles. At the end, I'll ask you to raise your hand when I go back to the list of tunes to see if you guessed correctly the titles of the shows from which they came. Here to whisk you off to the Great White Way is a graduate of the Paul University School of Music, the Northern Illinois University Graduate School of Education, distinguished music educator in Chicago public and private schools, as well as founder and now associate director of the American Wind Band, Mr. Vincent J. Foreman with John Higgins' Christmas on Broadway. can't see this, so I'm going to have to clap if you know which one. And we're on the Stanford honor system here, so you have to be honest. Oh, there we go. Now you can raise your hands. Thank you, Ron. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and pine cones and holly berries come from the same musical. Meredith Willson's Here's Love. That's what I thought. Nobody. It wasn't a big hit on Broadway. The two tunes are great. Toyland and March of the Toys come from the same musical. Victor Herbert's Toyland. Okay, no, it's technically called Toyland. Either that or Wikipedia is wrong. No. My favorite things, this one's easy. Rodgers and Hammerstein's The Sound of Music. We Need a Little Christmas. It's my favorite. Jerry Herman's Maine. Doing pretty well. And the last one, God Bless Us Everyone. Alan Menken and Lynn Aaron's A Christmas Carol. Oh, okay. It's after the third ghost. And the kids come to the graveyard and sing that. And then it ends with God Bless Us All. All right. Theme and variations for the Hanukkah festival embodies the essence of the music associated with the Jewish Festival of Lights, which celebrates the victory of the Maccabees over the Syrian Greek tyrant Antiochus over 2,180 years ago. And the theme is reminiscent of the tunes sung by children during this joyous celebration. Legend has it that after the battles with Antiochus were won, there was only enough oil left for the ceremonial lights to last for one day. Yet, by some miracle, the oil lasted for 8 days. In modern times, candles are lit, one for each day of the holiday, prayers are recited, then the feast and merrymaking begin. This year, Hanukkah begins on the night of December 25th and ends on January the 2nd of next year. Now, welcome to the podium, a graduate of the Indiana University School of Music, the University of Illinois Graduate School of Music, presently the orchestra director at Pleasantville School District 107 in Blue Ridge, and music director of the American Wind Band, Maestro Julie Ciarni with David Bobrowitz, theme and variations for the Hanukkah Festival. Nutcracker is an 1892 ballet by Fyodor Ilyich Tschaikowsky, set on Christmas Eve at the foot of a Christmas tree in a child's imagination. It is an adaptation of Alexander Dumas' short story, The Nutcracker, itself a retelling of E.T.A. Hoffmann's story of the Nutcracker and the Mouse King. The Nutcracker was not initially successful, but it became popular in later years and was an annual staple for families around the world. The story centers on the child Clara, who goes down to the parlor just before midnight to see her Christmas present of a nutcracker that was damaged earlier in the evening. At the stroke of midnight, the dreamlike adventure begins as the damaged nutcracker comes to life, battles the mice with the gingerbread army, is saved by Clara from the jaws of defeat, and then he stabs the dreaded Mouse King. Afterward, he is transformed into a handsome prince who takes Clara to the land of sweets, where she is honored for having saved the damaged nutcracker, not prince, from certain death. In the end, the prince bows to the sugar plum fairy as she kisses Clara goodbye. From Act 2 of the Nutcracker, Maestro Siani and the American Wind Band with Tschaikowsky's memorable Valse de Fleurs, otherwise known as Waltz of the Flowers. Harold L. Walters had a remarkable career as a composer and conductor of wind bands and orchestras around the world. When asked what kind of groups he conducted, he would answer, the smallest was a 9-piece circus band and the largest was the 12,800-piece massed band at the University of Michigan. Size was no obstacle to Walters. He composed or arranged 1,500 pieces during his career. We close the first half of our concert today with Walters' The Christmas Party. This descriptive piece encapsulates the preparation, arrival of the guests, the gaiety of an old-fashioned or even present-day Christmas party, and Walters weaves together jingle bells, deck the hall, hail, hail, the gang's all hail, that's when everybody shows up. Jolly old St. Nicholas, here we come and lost sailing, and brings it all together with the final farewell, we wish you a Merry Christmas. So, to bring us to intermission, and to invite you all to her home, which is just a few blocks from here, for some lost sailing after the concert, is Julie Ciardi, the American Wind Band, and Walters, The Christmas Party. Actually, my favorite is intermission. No, I'm kidding. It is self-sufficient, and therefore we rely on you and a few of the foundations around the area in order to support the band and buy music, repair instruments, do all kinds of things like that. We don't pay anybody in the band, the directors nor the musicians, none of them get remunerated for their services. They just do it because they love to play music and play it for the youth. So, when we break for intermission, there are a couple of people out there in the lobby who are willing to take your money, believe it or not. There is an envelope in your program. If you would be so kind as to donate, fine. If you don't have anything to give, that's okay too. All right? So we'll see you in 15 minutes, which means we will see you at 5 minutes to 4. How's that sound? All right? Thank you. Okay. Hey, thanks a lot for all your donations. The bucket's been full. That's terrific. Plus, according to our statisticians, David Ciarni and Sue Furman, we have about 235 people here today. So thanks a lot. Give yourself a big round of applause. Usually, at this point in the program, we introduce new members. So, when I call your name, please stand up and say hi to the crowd. Elaine Schumacher, please. Benke on clarinet. Julius Augustine on contrabass clarinet. Kristen Davis on alto saxophone. The band keeps telling me they can't hear me read the announcements for the program, and I'm wondering why they're telling me that. They usually don't like to hear the announcements. I'd like to thank our donors and organizations, especially Hinsdale High School, and Matt Gakey and Rob Holt. Matt Gakey is the director of bands here at Hinsdale South High School, and Rob is the facilities manager, who's done a lot for us today to get this thing going. So give them a big round of applause. Please do look at our program, look at the sponsors and the advertisers. If you're in the neighborhood of some of those businesses, please stop by. Our next concert is Sunday, February 23rd at 3 p.m. at Elmhurst Christian Reformed Church. Sunday, February 23rd at 3 p.m. And if I'm not mistaken, Ms., we are doing the finale to Saint-Saëns Organ Symphony for that one. So please come. That'll be a fun one. That's our bleak midwinter concert. Gaudete is Latin for rejoice, and is the title of a sacred Christmas carol. The music is traced to the 16th century, with the earliest known lyrics going back to 1420. You see, the lyrics of 1420 had no musical direction. Thus, the melody sung today began in the late 16th century. Gaudete Sunday is the third Sunday of Advent in the liturgical calendar of Western Christianity, including the Roman Catholic Church, the Anglican Communion, Lutheran churches, and other mainline Protestant churches. One of the candles surrounding the Christ candle in the Advent wreath is rose-colored for Gaudete Sunday, which is a week from today. Brian Beck's modern arrangement of Gaudete captures the intense passion of praise, coupled with moments of calm reverence reserved for the coming of the newborn king. Here to open the second half of today's concert is Maestro Furman and the American Wind Band with Brian Beck's version of Gaudete. David Rose was a British-born and Chicago-raised American songwriter, composer, arranger, pianist, and orchestra leader. His best-known compositions were The Stripper, Holiday for Strings, and Calypso Melody. Rose's work as a composer for television programs earned him 4 Emmy Awards, and he was musical director of the Red Skelton Show during its 21-year run on CBS and NBC television networks. Along with his well-known Holiday for Strings, our next piece, Holiday for Trombones, aligns with the composer of our first piece today, Leroy Anderson, and his typewriter song in the Bugler's Holiday. It's a light and fast-paced demonstration of the trombone's versatility and the expertise of a well-oiled trombone section. So, to highlight our outstanding trombone section, while their horns are oiled up and before they get oiled up, is Vince Furman and the American Wind Band with Herfurth's arrangement for band of David Rose's Holiday for Trombones. By the way, you were right and I was wrong. It is based in Toyota. It is not just Toyota. Filmed in part in Highland Park, Illinois, Home Alone is a 1990 American comedy film directed by Chris Columbus and written and produced by John Hughes. The first in the Home Alone franchise, the film stars Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister, a young boy who defends his suburban Chicago home from an invasion by a pair of robbers after his family accidentally leaves him behind on their Christmas vacation to Paris. The cast also features Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern as the hilarious Wet Bandits, and John Hurt and Catherine O'Hara as Kevin's parents. Although not received initially with much critical acclaim, Home Alone grossed almost $500 million worldwide and is one of the highest grossing action comedies ever. Today, Home Alone is considered one of America's and the world's best Christmas films and is revisited by millions every holiday season. Leslie Bricusse of Broadway fame and John Williams of film fame composed the lyrics and music for the film. And the highlights we bring you today include Holiday Flight, Glorious Steeds, Somewhere in My Memory, The House, and Star of Bethlehem. Knowing that she will not be home alone after we all pile over to her place after the concert, is Meistersiarn and the American Wind Band and Paul Lavender's band arrangement of highlights from Home Alone. Jester, Joseph Hairston, was an American composer, songwriter, arranger, choral conductor, and actor. He was regarded as a leading expert on black spirituals and choral music, and his notable compositions include Amen, a gospel-tinged theme, and the 1964 hit for the singing group The Impressions from the film Lilies of the Field, and the Christmas song, Mary's Borchuk, which is an original Christmas spiritual based on West Indian rhythms, and also the foundation of our next piece, arranged for concert band by Mervyn Whitcomb. The Calypso is a type of folk song, primarily from Trinidad, though sung elsewhere in the southern and eastern Caribbean islands. Here, Whitcomb holds fast to Hairston's original tune, but injects a tribute to Hairston's known expertise on black spirituals in the middle of the piece. If you don't start to tap your foot, get the urge to dance, or just smile during this performance, have someone check your pulse. Here's Vince Furman and the American Wind Band with Whitcomb's arrangement titled Jester, Hairston, Calypso Christmas. Now, the young lady directing the band right now is wearing a Santa Claus hat that has the symbol of her alma mater, the Indiana University Hoosiers, on the front. That lights up after the concert to lead you to her home. St. Nick meets Benny Goodman and his renowned drummer Gene Krupa in our final piece with an inevitable take on the holiday chestnut Jingle Bells, arranged by Chris Sharp. Begins with the iconic tom-tom solo in the percussion section reminiscent of Louis Prima's Sing, 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 before launching into the familiar melody. When the full ensemble enters, sleigh bells add to the festive mood. After a playful call and response between the brass and woodwind sections, jolly old St. Nick makes his appearance to close out the piece. But before Julie and the band leave you in the most festive of spirits, let's harken back to a line from the God Bless Us Everyone from the Broadway musical A Christmas Carol that we heard earlier, one that brings us back to the true meaning of Christmas and our hope that you and all of your family and friends have a wonderful holiday season and a happy, peaceful 2025. It goes like this. Star by star in the sky, and kindness by human kindness, let us love till we die, and God bless us, everyone. And now, to Jing, Jing, Jingle you out the door, and maybe to her door, Maestro Luciani and the American Wind Band. Concert is, oh, by the way, Julie Ciarni and Vince Furman, and the American Wind Band. And you're not really on first floor of Julie's house, I was kidding. Don't forget, our next concert is Sunday, February 23rd, 2025, 3 p.m. at the Elmhurst Christian Reformed Church. We will feature Sansone Organ Symphony and a lot of other cool stuff. So come on out. It'll be cold, it'll be windy, it'll be snowy. We want a warm place to go to and have a lot of fun with these folks who are a lot of fun. So, thanks everybody. Have a great holiday season. See you next time.